Hi, sweetie. Hi, handsome. Oh, my sweet baby. You are the star of my life, huh? Alright, hello, beautiful people. I am back in California. If you couldn't tell, I'm back in California, guys. So, I did try to take a little video of driving through Vegas, and it was so majestic and beautiful because I specifically chose to drive through the night through Vegas as well as LA to visit my friend. I usually don't like to drive more than 2 or 3 hours in a day, but I'm glad I did though, because I did not have to deal with as much horrible traffic, especially considering I drove on Thursday night and the next day would have been horrible, Friday, the traffic of Friday. But yes, this video I took in Vegas was apparently only a picture. So I want to be sharing that with you guys. And I did not take a lot of pictures in LA area. I did go to Venice Beach yesterday, and I just tired of being in that. I kind of felt suffocated staying in my friend's apartment, and I just ended up leaving. So I'm currently in Oceanside for 2 or 3 days. Halloween is coming up in 3 days, I think. So yeah, guys, I'm just here at my parking spot. I'll show you more tomorrow, possibly. It feels good to be next to the ocean. Now that I'm in this mode again of being more on the road, because I was stopped at my dad's for a couple weeks, and I love the time that I got to spend with him, but at the same time, I did feel a little bit suffocated there as well, where I was just like, I want to go, I want to leave. I love my father so much, but I think it can be a little bit difficult for me being around people who are still very religious, because I hold back a lot in myself still as kind of probably a protection mechanism from growing up in the church and being around people who really hate kind of those sides of me. So yeah, I'm just excited to be back in my car, as ridiculous as it might sound, because I live in this tiny ass little space. Yeah, I'll show you some videos tomorrow. Alright guys, so I'm just here watching this sunset. It is so beautiful. Today was a little bit of a rough day, to be honest. I woke up dealing with a lot of anxiety and depression, but I know that it's partially my fault, greatly my fault, because I did drink a little bit excessively over the past week. I was visiting my friend in Newport Beach area, and I just got really ratchet and was drunk the whole entire time. And I am bipolar, so if I drink too much, it really affects my mood swings. And thankfully I left. I honestly kind of dipped in a rush because my spirit was just telling me I needed to get the fuck out of there. Oh man, I think the excessiveness of the drinking was really harmful to my mental health. I am taking a break from that. As some of you guys know, I have a history with alcoholism. A little bit about my personal journey with sobriety is having a more sober form of living rather than just complete sobriety. I do not. Sometimes I'll go for sober breaks and cut alcohol out for a month or so, but generally I try to create a balance with my relationship with alcohol and kind of take back the control that I've given to it for so many years. It caused a lot of problems in my life, and thankfully I'm at a point where I exhibit so much more self-control, but I still do have times that I kind of teeter into that habitual toxic drinking excessiveness. Oh my goodness. But yeah, taking another break from alcohol because I just started teetering, and I just kind of feel so I think I was there for about 4 or 5 days, And I was pretty much drunk just like the whole entire time, like waking up drinking. And I just, I, I hate filling my body with that much poison. It just hurts my heart and my mind so much. And that's honestly one of the greatest reasons that I don't do it anymore, as well as some mistakes that I've made along the way because of intoxication. It's cute. I just saw this little adorable couple kissing. They're just adorable. Their vibe is so cute. But anyway, I feel like I just kind of disappeared for those few days into this like drunken haze, and like I just wasn't feeling very good. I wasn't feeling happy, which will happen if you're drinking so much. It's literally poison. And I just, oh man, the day just was kind of the anxiety after effects of drinking too much. And my anxiety has been a little bit through the roof today. I ended up taking a bit of my gabapentin, and I like just passed out for a few hours, had the craziest freaking dreams. I think there was some built up stuff as well that I just needed to like process and face, and not and drinking all day was kind of getting in the way of it and not helping. But I have my door, so my door lock won't work. It's not working. So I kind of like broke the handle, so the door would only open from reaching from the outside and opening it that way. And it has progressively turned into now my lock won't open at all. It won't unlock. So I have to climb out over all of that. It looks fucking ridiculous, guys. I have to climb out of that door, which is basically like I have the space of a window because my cool bag is there full of like my canned goods and grocery items, and I don't want to move that. Well, that would be just really difficult to try and move that from this side. So I am trying to figure out something to do about that door. To be honest, the door is a little bit of a stressor, especially when I'm like dealing with these waves of anxiety about other things as well. That when I remember that I can't get out this door, it just is a little bit frustrating. But other than that, guys, we're doing good. Oh my goodness, it really does feel nice to be back into this mode. I do really want more space. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I really, really do want more space, and there's not really, I mean, once I get to my friends in Arizona, which is actually where I'm heading right now, I am along the Southern California coast. Some of you might have watched my video where I was talking about how I was going to go back to Northern California to work and live with a friend. That actually fell through. I don't remember if I told you guys about that, but that fell through. So I have been planning on moving to Arizona for a period of time to live on my friend's property. And I came to visit a friend at the coast near LA, and I have just been like, you know what? I'm gonna visit more of the coast by myself. I needed like space and time alone, and kind of psyched. Today, my anxiety, so sometimes when I'm dealing with anxiety, I just get in this mood to like run, and nowhere feels safe. And that's my nervous system freaking the fuck out. And it's just like, you're not safe, you're not safe, you're not safe, so I want to run. But I find that if I allow myself, especially being in my car, I do this a lot more, and I would save so much gas if I just like let myself rest when I'm feeling that increased anxiety. I really just needed to rest today, and I kept trying to go from spot to spot to spot, and everything fucking costs money down here, and it annoys the shit out of me. Not everything. I did find a overnight parking lot near to the beach that didn't even cost anything, and you can park there for like 3 days. So not every spot does, but it's like I have money where I could pay to go into a beach parking lot right next to the coast, but which is what I want to do, but I don't want to waste my money on that. It seems like such a waste to pay like $15 to park at a spot for like half a day. So I have not been doing that. But I finally just allowed myself to rest and was like, okay, I do want to still explore the coast a little longer, so we'll see. I will say that this makes me miss Humboldt so much. I miss Humboldt so fucking much, guys. And I cannot wait to go back. Honestly, I miss the big trees. I miss the Northern California coast where there is still beaches that are accessible without having to spend a shit ton of money to park at them or go into them. It's kind of ridiculous how much Southern California is monetized. Like, it's extremely difficult to find any place in beautiful nature that does not cost money. It's kind of ridiculous, and I honestly think that it's kind of fucked up just how much of California is monetized. Kind of just ridiculous. Hopefully I'll be getting food stamps in a few days. I have to reapply for it because of some issues switching between Utah and California. I'm sorry I don't really get that much like video, like filming type of content of like what's going on around me. To be honest, when I'm just lifing, I prefer to life without my phone. Unless I'm listening to music, I just kind of like to enjoy it, and I don't really take a whole lot of like pictures anymore either. Like the pictures that I share with you guys of myself, that's literally probably the only pictures that I really take anymore. Not having social media has completely changed the way that I enjoy my life. I do have YouTube, but I don't have Instagram anymore, or Facebook. I use Facebook, but just for Facebook Marketplace. And not having that like constant like kind of like stimulation and like necessity and desire to share like every fucking day, I just don't really take pictures much anymore or videos. So it's kind of nice actually, because my YouTube channel does encourage me to actually like still get a little bit of that, because it's nice to have that for like certain points in my life. But blah blah blah. Please do wish me luck and love on this journey through the ups and downs, because I made a little post about faith and how this lifestyle as basically like a gypsy really is about faith, especially if you currently don't have any form of consistently being paid like a normal job, or like some YouTube content creators make money from their YouTube. I'm not monetized yet, so it's really running on a prayer that like everything's gonna work out and it's gonna be provided for me, and that I'm gonna find good work opportunities and money and all of that. But it tests my faith so much, and it can be really scary, to be honest, especially doing this alone, which I've done alone for the past 5 years on and off. And yeah, there's something precious about doing it alone. It's kind of nice because I realize I've been single for so fucking long at this point that I have a little bit of like control issues over my space. You relate. So yeah, water for my noodles, and then I'm gonna throw some eggs in there. And Indy's just over here looking cute. Say hi, Indy. Say hi. Little sweetness. Yes. So one thing about staying in areas that are nicer like this is you really want to be a little bit more discreet so nobody comes out and complains about you. I'm in the Walmart parking lot right now. This is not where I camped overnight. I actually parked overnight at a rest stop. I generally feel safer, and like it's less likely that I'm gonna get bothered by anybody complaining about me parking there, this is definitely a nicer neighborhood, so yeah, staying a little bit more discreet. They're staying clean and looking neat while you're parked in certain areas will help a lot with not getting bothered by cops or other people. And sometimes you'll still deal with like dirty looks and people don't liking like fucking street trash, homeless around, but just deal with it. And honestly, like the longer I've been in it, the less I notice it and the easier it is to ignore. Got them noodles, and that is donut boiling. That's fine. And then I have spices I ground up. Let's see, that's pepper, rosemary, thyme, and oregano that I'm just gonna put in the sauce. And then I got some coconut meal. Baby. Here we go.
İnşaat sektörü biraz.
Alright guys, so I am officially out of California. I did not spend very long there. I think I spent less than a week. Today is Halloween. I'm not really sure what day of the week that is. I think it's a Thursday, and I got to California on Friday. So, not very long stay, but I am not a big fan of Southern California. To be honest, I think that I spent more time dealing with like anxiety than I did actually spend at the beach. I did have a good time at the beach when I was there, and overall it was I want to say good trip, but I'm glad to be gone and out of there. Funny enough, so yesterday woke up and my anxiety was doing a lot better, and then I found out that I had a flat tire, which I had already been to a Big O a few days before, and they said that they didn't find anything wrong with it. Somebody walking through Newport Beach was probably just fucking with my car and aired it out. Turns out there was a little nail in it, and as I'm like driving to the Big O, like crying, having a panic attack, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna take my anxiety meds, I'm just gonna feel through this one. And sure enough, as I'm like crying and like purging it out of my system, which I think is great, I just stopped and was like, I'm a motherfucking badass, dude. Like, what? I'm a fucking badass. Like, I've made it this long and this far. Like, a flat tire, it's not gonna be what takes me out. And my mood just like completely shifted around, and so it ended up being a great day. I met this Turkish guy that turned into a really weird situation where he was just really pushy and kept like, we hung out for a few hours and he kept pushing for like us to get a hotel that night. I kept being like, no. And I finally ended up telling him I was gonna leave, and he ended up just like blowing up my phone with all these texts, like flipping out at me, super pissed off that I didn't spend the night with him. And I was like, oh my god, immediately blocked him. But thankfully I have pretty good intuition about that stuff, and I leave when my intuition tells me to leave. Like I did. Basically my intuition was like, you need to leave within like the next 5 minutes, and I was like, yeah man, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna stay here tonight. And then he left, and I left right after him because I was kind of, I don't know, I wasn't too worried that he was gonna follow me, but just to be careful I decided to go after him. But anyway, that was a weird fucking situation, but also just like reminded me how on point sometimes my intuition can be. I feel like the more that I follow my intuition, the more clear it becomes, and I found that massively, that my intuition has increased just since leaving Utah, and even since leaving Southern California. Like, it was actually not a super fun time for a lot of the time that I was there, mental health wise, but I'm learning that oftentimes what I consider just anxiety and paranoia is actually my intuition. And I think when it turns into anxiety or paranoia, it is like some form of imbalance in your intuition. Perhaps you're not following your intuition, perhaps you're not listening to it, and therefore it is turning into some form of imbalance. but I'm grateful for this experience overall because it definitely, like, it was just, I feel like my whole time in Southern California was all about following my intuition and listening to it, like, pretty much immediately when it told me to go or do something. And now that I am out in the desert, I'm out in Quartzsite right now, guys. There's not a lot of people out here right now. I guess it's the end of October. The last time I was here was January through like February, and it gets pretty packed then, but I'm not sure if I will park in this spot, but I feel pretty good about it, to be honest. I feel pretty good to be about it. There seems to be some people who are close by who have like full setups, and they don't look super trashy. No offense to my trashy friends out there, because I look probably like the trashiest person in like a radius, but it does make me feel a little bit safer as a woman that's traveling alone. So that is gonna be it today, you guys. For my video on my journey in California, very short-lived. So glad to be out of it. And we'll see how long I stay here in Quartzsite. Probably not too long, to be honest, but you never know. I surprise myself. And on to Sedona. So thanks for watching, guys, and being along for my journey, and I'll see you next time. Have an amazing and beautiful day. Okay, bye.